Now for the top 10. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, be sure to go and watch that video first. But if you have already seen it, then let's get on with it. Smashing its way into the top 10 is Smash Bros, hence the name. Smash Kirby has pretty much all the same moves he has in Super Smash Bros. 4. In the interest of time, I won't list them all, but the ones I really like are Vulcan Jab, for the same reasons as Fighters, Twinkle Star for being a fast aerial move, Hammer Flip, Giant Swing, and Ultra Giant Swing for having a lot of sheer power, Final Cutter for its power and good vertical range, Airdrop for being fun to use, and Stone Smash for its speed and raw power. Smash Kirby can also use Stone Change and Shield, based off the shields that every character in Smash Bros. Has access to completely protect himself from all enemy attacks. So yes, Kirby has a lot of useful attacks with this ability, but the main reason I like it is because it truly feels like you're playing Smash Bros. As Kirby, and I'm sure you know how much I love the Smash Bros. Series. This copy ability also lacks any real major flaws, so that's all easily enough for me to give it 10th place. Ninth place is Doctor. First Mega Heracross, then Ness, then Link, and now Dr. Mario? I know they're called copy abilities, but geez dude, chill! Anyway, Dr. Kirby has quite a few strange, but unique and very fun and useful attacks. Examples of such moves include Bouncing Capsule, which is fun to spam, Pill Popper, which has pretty good range and coverage, Science Lab, which can have several different effects and has great vertical range and coverage, Pharmacy, which is like a mid-air version of Pill Popper, and Clipboard Bash, which has good power and great speed. In a nutshell, Dr. Kirby mainly specializes in mid-range battling, and all of his unique, versatile attacks make it just a very fun copy ability to use. In fact, I'd say it's Kirby's most unique copy ability, and for that, I humbly bestow 9th place upon it. You know, I'm probably gonna make Kirby my new doctor. Eighth place is ESP. Alright Kirby, copying Ness once is one thing, but twice? Find your own groove, man. But disregarding unoriginality, ESP is similar to Suplex. It's simple, yet very effective and fun. The main attack ESP Kirby can use is PK Shift, which conjures up a huge orb of psychokinetic energy, which can hit enemies multiple times, before exploding and causing even greater damage. And it can also be powered up into PK Electro Shift, which causes even more damage. In addition to that, ESP Kirby can also use moves like Vanish, which allows him to evade attacks, and reappear to sneak up on enemies. He can also use PK Evade and PK Insight when guarding to effectively counter enemy attacks. This is another ability that's perfect for distance fighting, and it's also another unique one, since no other copy abilities, to my knowledge, allow Kirby to attack from so far away. And not to mention Teleport. That all seems like enough for ESP to win the 8th place spot. Reflecting on 7th place is Mirror. This is another one that doesn't have a long list of attacks, but the skills it comes with make it very fun and useful to fight with. Reflect Force is not only great for damage racking, but can also reflect projectiles back at enemies, as can Reflect Guard, which also protects Kirby from any damage. Mirror Body has great reach, Mirror Body Sky has great vertical range, and Mirror Body Ring is a great get-off-me attack. Sorry, that's all Mirror Kirby has for attacks, but like I said, they're all both very useful and fun. I don't really know why, but reflecting projectiles back in enemies' faces is very amusing. I'm bummed that it only returned in Planet Robobot and no other modern Kirby games, especially Star Allies, but that's no big deal. For all the use and fun I get out of fighting with it, Mirror definitely earns 7th place. I'd like a time-killing epilogue, please. Sixth place is Staff. This one gives Kirby a plethora of close-range attacks that are extremely fun to dish out. All of Staff Kirby's jabs have great speed, reach, and range, especially Raging Staff and Unrelenting Staff, and Spinning Staff is a great vertical attack for hitting enemies directly above you. Sorry, that's all for attacks. However, while most of them are just jabs, which makes perfect sense for a staff, he has a whole lot of different types of jabs, all of which are useful for different types of enemies and situations. Like I said before, all of the jabs are very fun to use, especially on bosses, and if you're the kind of gamer who likes fighting with up-close, rapid, repeated strikes, Staff is definitely the copy ability for you. Staff was a great addition in Star Allies, and I really hope they bring it back in future Kirby games. Along with Mirror, of course. With no doubt at all, Staff place is all 6th. No, 6 staff is all place. No, place staff is all 6. Ugh, you get the idea. Whipping right into 5th place is Whip. Get whipped into shape! Say it, whip me! Whip Kirby is smart as a whip! Ugh, all this whipping is giving me whiplash. Anyway, Whip is kinda similar to Suplex, in that it can grab enemies and throw them. It's also similar to Staff, in that it's great for attacking with rapid, repeated strikes. The attack that does this is 100 Whip Slap, which is, of course, very fast and great for damage racking. And the attack that can grab and throw enemies is called Whip Grab. Surprise, surprise. Which is, like Suplex, very fun to use on enemies. It's also fun to grab recoil stars and throw them at bosses. However, my favorite attack has to be Whip Tornado. It's like the Whip version of Spinning Staff, given its multiple hits and great vertical range. And as for his other attacks, he can thrust his whip in any direction he wants. Therefore, Whip Kirby, overall, has really good range and reach. You know, something really weird just now occurred to me. How in the hell does Kirby hold all these weapons without any fingers? And it doesn't really matter. Whip has whipped up a nice 5th place. Scorching its way into 4th place is Fire. This one's another old classic, appearing in pretty much every Kirby game in existence. As I'm sure you can guess, Fire Kirby mainly attacks by breathing fire, which has good reach and range. But his other attacks are really where it's at. Fireball Inferno is a good damage racking attack and even works for a get off me one. Burn has good reach and is quite fun to spam. Burning Flame is good for stage control, and Fireball Roll is another attack with good reach. In the 3DS games, Burning Flame was replaced with Searing Burn, and although I like Searing Burn due to its power, I prefer Burning Flame's stage control capabilities just a bit, so I'm sad he doesn't have it anymore. But my point is, Fire Kirby has a lot of really fun attacks that can burn enemies alive. And side note, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think Fire was the most used copy ability in the anime, Kirby Right Back At Ya. I used to watch that show all the time, and therefore, it made me love Fire a lot more. I think that's enough for Fire to burn all who want 4th place. Third place goes to Poison. I'm gonna say this right off the bat, this is probably the 3rd most overpowered Kirby copy ability. With it, Kirby has a lot of long-range attacks with great reach, and it's also the best copy ability for stage control. The 2 best examples of this are Sticky Toxin and Toxic Smog, which are both fun to spam and great for damage racking, given how long they stay around for. Sticky Strike and Toxic Ball are both great for stage control also, although not quite as fun to spam. As for his other attacks, Poison Pummel and Toxic Swamp are quite powerful and very fun to spam. Toxic Slide has really good reach, and Toxic Tower has great range, both horizontal and vertical, since it can be angled. Not only are all his attacks very fun to use, but as I've made clear, they're amazing at both damage racking and stage control, which is, honestly, the reason it's so overpowered. And side note, I know I haven't said this a lot on this list, unlike my Mario ones, but this is also quite an epic concept for a Kirby copy ability. It really does suck that it's only appeared in one game so far, and I really hope it comes back for future Kirby games, but regardless, Poison poisons all who want 3rd place. Running, or should I say, driving up is Wheel. This one's another overpowered ability. In fact, I'd say it's the 2nd most. No, you're not detecting a pattern here. It's also another simple copy ability. Wheel Kirby only really attacks by turning into a tire and rolling around. However, while moving, Kirby's invincible, which is where the overpoweredness comes from. As for his specific attacks, Downshift is there. Rocket Start and Skywheel are very fast and pack quite a punch. Turn Jump is very fun to spam, especially on bosses, and is actually the move that makes this ability overpowered, since it makes Kirby invulnerable each time he uses it. That's all for Wheel Kirby's attacks. I'd be lying if I said the Opinus. Ugh. Overpoweredness wasn't the main reason why this is one of my favorite copy abilities, but even disregarding that, it's really fun moving around at such high speed and plowing right into enemies. That seems like a good enough reason to give Wheel 2nd place. Before we hit numero uno, let's look at some quick honorable mentions. 25th place is Jet. With this one, Kirby attacks by hitting enemies with launch-boosted strikes. Punches, kicks, headbutts, tackles, and even longer ranged attacks. He's got it all. However, while very fun to use, it also controls pretty awkwardly, making it impractical, at least for boss battles. But the fun of it is what gets it a spot here. 24th place is Spider. First you were copying video game characters, but now Spider-Man, a comic book character? Jeez, Kirby. Anyway, Spider Kirby mainly attacks by turning enemies into pods with his webbing, and using them as weapons. Specifically, he can throw the pods at other enemies. Like with Whip and Suplex, grabbing and chucking things is just really fun. 23rd place is Bell. This one's as simple as you think it is. Kirby just beats enemies senseless with bells. Quite an unusual concept for a copy ability, but nonetheless innovative. And more importantly, it also has a lot of fun attacks to use. But you have to wonder though, is it the bells themselves hurting enemies or the sounds they make? Maybe it's both. 22nd place is Water. This one's basically the same thing as Poison, except with some different attacks, and that it's nowhere near as good at stage control. However, where it beats Poison is that it has a lot more long-distance attacks, and Water Kirby's dash also deals damage, which is a small, but really handy and fun touch. Last but not Poyo, 21st place is Circus. Clown Kirby has a lot of different and unique, and more importantly, very fun moves to use, which include somersaulting, rolling on balls, blowing up balloons, juggling flaming batons, jumping through flaming hoops, and more. However, despite how fun these are, most of them lack range and control rather awkwardly, so this is another impractical one, but again, it's so fun that it had to be on this list somewhere. Finally, number 1. It debuted in Triple Deluxe, and it also appeared in Planet Robobot. It's none other than Archer. Remember earlier how I said Wheel was the second most overpowered Kirby copy ability? If you're wondering what the most overpowered one is, it's Archer. At least in my opinion. This is solely due to his camouflage move. When using it, he's somehow completely invincible, and that's not even all. He can also crawl around and even attack while using camouflage, and even better still, this has to have both the best distance and range out of every copy ability. As I'm sure you can guess, Archer Kirby can aim and shoot arrows, which travel really far, and if charged up into Magic Star Arrow, can deal some real damage, and his other attacks are nothing to sniff at either. Unlike Magic Star Arrow, Sky Shot Shower can shoot directly above Kirby and is also a pretty good get-off-me attack. Arrow Slash is both fast and, unlike all his other attacks, close range, and Leaping Quiver is pretty fun to spam. So yeah, Archer Kirby has a plethora of both potent and fun attacks, all of which are useful in their own ways, in many different situations and against many different types of enemies and bosses. In all honesty, every copy ability has at least one weakness, flaw, Achilles heel, or some sort of drawback, but Archer is the only one, at least in my opinion, that has none at all. At least, not any major ones. With all that in mind, it's as clear as the hair that isn't on Kirby's head. Archer is easily my number 1 favorite Kirby copy ability of all time. So there you have it, my top 20 favorite Kirby copy abilities of all time. For more videos like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, please check out my social media. All links are in the description. Thank you Poyo for watching. See you next time. Mikoro Gliscor 472, out.